I'm getting tan. Looking like a turon. Okay. Okay, this is the last section of the video, and if you made it here, thank you so much. I know that it's not the most easiest to watch a long video, but I'm very happy that you've made it this far. Thank you so much. Okay, so don't worry, I just have several questions. So my first question is from my good friend Matt, and his question is, what have you learned about yourself from this experience so far? What I've actually learned about myself is what it feels like to just continue more to embrace myself, and especially the awkward part of myself, because I think many of you all know, oh my gosh, being an introvert, being a potato, just being, I feel like I'm so awkward, and I feel like that's one of the main things that I've really taken away from doing YouTube, is to just be myself and to not feel like I have to sugarcoat or change who I am just for others, just to please others, you know, others' expectations of me and who I should be and whatnot. So I think that's, yeah, I think that'll be it for me. So another question from another good friend, Armin. Her question is, what is something positive that came out of your life since you became a YouTuber? One of the more positive things that came out of this is actually, I feel like, rekindling friendships, re-strengthening friendships, like yourself actually. I think I was just talking about this to my Ate Alex yesterday, that I'm so glad that I've been able to have YouTube as a way to get closer to people, you know, that I have always been a part of my life. And you know, like yourself, we've been friends since high school, you know, but I feel like now as like adults, you know, and you know, much older than we were now, I feel like recently too, I feel like because of our love for YouTube, and just more so like especially with our drive to just, you know, just want to be content creators and just to simply do it because we love to. You know, I feel like this common, you know, like language, you know, I feel like it really has brought me closer to many more people in my life that I've like grown up with. So thank you. Her next question is, how do you keep yourself motivated since you're self-employed? That's a very good question, because I feel like that's something, I feel like that's something that I'm still cultivating and I'm still learning to figure out. But one thing's for sure, it's really hard. It's really hard. Very difficult, you know, especially for the most part. We grew up in the education system where we were basically learned to obey, follow rules, you know, but oh my goodness, I'm not necessarily sure if I've gotten to a place yet of finding a system, you know, because I am learning as I go, and it's been messy, you know. I think for me though, I've just learned to embrace what is versus what it should be. I feel like, yeah, actually I feel like that's a good answer to your question. So I am on my week 7 of insanity. Been trying to, you know, cut down on the car babies over here, you know. So yeah, I'll usually work out, and then I'll usually clean up, take care of my dogs, eat, and then if anything, for sure, I know that I usually leave my house around 5 p.m. anyways, because my room gets so hot. It's like an oven in there, so I can't stand being in a hot room. So I usually will go to Starbucks or like a coffee shop around 5, and I'll usually stay there till like 10, and then I think I'll call it a day, you know. So in the midst of like openness, thankfully I've been able to find a system that works for me. So thank you again for your question, and thank you for your support. So latest question is, where does dance fit into the overall picture, and are you working on any projects? Actually right now, I think like what I was telling my Ate Alex yesterday was I think I'm taking a much needed indefinite break from performing professionally or just even dancing in general, because I feel like I've spent 11 years of my life, I've given it my all, and yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say that I just needed a break, you know, and I'll allow that to do its thing But in terms of YouTube, I actually recorded a improvisation video of me dancing on top of the roof in New York City, which I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being too hard on myself, but looking at it, it feels a bit cringy, you know, but that's part of the work that I've also sought out to do in my capstone, which is called Soul Supremacy. And Soul Supremacy, and in that exploration, I really want to furthermore dig deeper and work with pleasure. What it feels like to find pleasure in a unconventional setting. This whole idea actually came up with me dancing outside as part of my classes that I needed to take, and I just remember feeling awkward, feeling very silly, and worrying about what people thought of me. I had a moment where I found peace and stillness within, even in the moving, and that clicked to me, you know, that I was working with finding pleasure even in unconventional or uncomfortable situations. In the very, very near future, I'm actually very excited to bring dance back into my life, especially dance film. I also have a dance film that I shot with my lovely friends Lorraine, Tia, and Aubrey last summer. Actually, so that's I'm very behind on it, so I'm gonna put that out there. Yes, so just do know that dance is still part of the trajectory. I'm gonna put it out there. It's just a matter of when. Thank you so much. Thank you. Are you working on any projects? I think right now, like some of the things that some of the pending things that I'm looking into doing in terms of YouTube is furthermore collaborations. Yeah, I'm actually looking more forward into building relationships through collaboration. Oh, photography. I'm actually very excited to start digging deeper into more behind the scenes tutorials, eventually of photography, which is one of my main inspirations for going back into YouTube, is to furthermore showcase photography, because I follow Queen Jessica Whitaker. If you're watching this, thank you. She was actually the main reason why I was inspired to also go back into photography and YouTube. And I realized that there aren't that much, if not aren't any people doing what she's doing here in San Diego. So I think I just wanted to test out the waters and, you know, kind of build a name for myself, not just as a photographer, but just as an overall content creator here in San Diego through my YouTube. So yes. Do I have any more questions? Oh, I had one more question. My first question from Mr. Chris Michael Stott. And this is actually a very good question to end the video. Thank you all so much for being patient. Thank you. Okay. How do you deal with fear or failure? I admit it's very hard. It's very hard to furthermore put yourself out there, you know, because that comes with vulnerability in terms of failure and learning how to deal with the fear of failure. I admit it scares me, like doing this. Even as I'm recording this video, I'm like scared. Just gotta flex that muscle, you know. Quoted from my good friend Ashley McCann. She actually had used that term on me for the first time this year when we were talking about clubbing. You know, being an introvert, I don't like to go out to big places, let alone clubbing. I do love to dance though, but she said, you know, you gotta flex that muscle. You know, for some reason, that has really resonated with me, and I've been using that term ever since. But going back to the question, I don't think it gets any easier, nor I don't think it goes away, but I think it just becomes something. As long as you keep whoa, what muscle? Sorry. As long as you continue to keep working on it and flexing that muscle, I think it's something that you eventually become comfortable with. Yeah, I mean, I think that is the best answer or advice I can give to your question, because I mean, actually recording this video was such a struggle for me, and I got to the point where I was like, why am I even doing this? You know, I just wanted to stop. I wanted to just forget about it. I was letting my fear dictate what I ultimately wanted to do. And lastly, I think the best way to do that is to literally just face your fear and just do it. thank you all so much for watching this video, this very long video, but I actually have been meaning to record this for a long time now because a lot of my videos have been pre-recorded, but I wanted to interject this, you know, so I could bring you all up to date with what is currently happening with my life now, and also just talk about where I'm coming from. I'm going to post links down below to the channels that I currently follow, my friends who are doing their damn thing, and I know that we can all use some love, and I also would hope that you give them some love too. So I'm gonna have the links down below for you to check them out. Yeah, I mean, if you like the video, please give it a like. If you like the content that you've watched and have been seeing, you know, please subscribe, you know, shameless plug, subscribe, and comment down below. Okay, so my final question to y'all is, what brought you to this video? Why are you watching this video? And what have you taken away from watching this video? And that'll be it for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much for the love and support that y'all have given me. And yeah, this has really been such a humbling experience, and I'm really glad to have you all on board with me in this ride, the struggle bus, you know, that we call life. Thank you all so much. Have a good day.